Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight on our news.
The Baines and Grantstown Member of Parliament breaks his silence over his decision to vote no to the VAT tax hike.
Police investigating a shooting death that took place right in this yard behind me. That story is straight ahead.
The family of young Garvin Shakari killed here along Munnings Road now seeking legal action.
Our news is brought to you by Alive.
Welcome to our news and thanks for joining us. I'm Christina Dragovich. Topping news tonight, 8 days after he was fired from his parliamentary secretary post for voting no to the value-added tax hike, Baines and Grantstown MP Travis Robinson today breaking his silence on the matter, insisting he has no regrets. Robinson says his decision was solely based on his commitment to his constituents. Jasmine Brown was in the House of Assembly and filed this report.
Robinson did not hold back as he delivered his contribution in the House of Assembly today, insisting while he is a member of the Free National Movement, his vote is not for sale.
Contrary to what some may say, my one vote in this Honorable House of Assembly is mortgaged to the people of Baines and Grantstown and to them alone. My integrity is not for sale. My conviction is not for sale. My one vote is not for sale.
Robinson was speaking publicly for the first time since Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis fired him as parliamentary secretary in the Ministry of Tourism and Aviation for voting against a VAT hike. Budget bills are considered confidence votes. An MP who votes against his own party's budget risks discipline. By convention, those with government appointments should resign before opposing their government in a confidence vote. Robinson told Parliament that he fully understands the rules, but insisted that did not deter him from doing what he thought was right.
When I said to my constituents on the campaign trail, I will fight for you, I will go to bat for you, I will stand up and speak out for you, I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. Even if it cost me my livelihood, no system of governance, no position or money enough will cause for me to yield my personal belief or conviction, especially when my people need me the most.
Minnis also terminated Golden Isles MP Vaughn Miller as parliamentary secretary in the Ministry of Social Services and Urban Development and Frederick McAlpine from his post as chairman of the Hotel Corporation for voting against the VAT bill. The Prime Minister said they were in breach of the Manual of Cabinet and Ministry Procedure. Robinson noted that Minnis was left with little choice but to terminate him. He said he knew what was coming when he voted against the bill. Still, Robinson said he harbors no ill will towards Minnis and continues to enjoy a remarkable father-son political relationship with the Prime Minister. But he did call for the establishment of a select committee of the House of Assembly to evaluate the relevance of the Westminster system.
It is my fundamental belief that no member should be placed in a position to choose between their party/government and the people they represent in this honorable house. Such a position is to put a stranglehold around the neck of the Bahamian democracy.
Though some people had speculated that his termination would prompt Robinson to leave the FNM, the young MP made it clear he remains committed to the political party.
Fired up? Fired up? God bless the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Reporting for our news, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Well, the country recorded another homicide last night as a man was killed when he arrived at his home. Jared Higgs tells us the victim was no stranger to police.
A quiet community rocked by gun violence. Shortly after 10 last night, police say a man and a woman arrived at a home in Southern Breeze Estates off Golden Isles Road. Police Press Liaison Superintendent Shanta Knowles tells us what happened next.
As they exited their vehicle, they were approached by a man armed with a firearm who opened fire in their direction. The female was able to escape unharmed. However, of course, the male has been confirmed dead on scene.
Police believe the culprit, or culprits, made good their escape on foot through bushes near the victim's home. As police investigated, distraught family members, neighbors, and friends gathered, shouting, "Oh, TJ!" As the body was being carried away, they asked, why him? Visiting the neighborhood today, it's evident that it is a quiet one. We attempted to speak to some neighbors, but they preferred not to come on camera. They said the victim was a mannerly young man who never gave them any problems. Neighbors say the victim is 26-year-old Donathan Hanna.
We can tell you that he is someone who is known to us and is being monitored at this time.
Back on November 14th, 2016, Hanna and another man were charged with murder for the September 2016 killing of 17-year-old William McKenzie, who was shot dead in a drive-by shooting while playing a game of dominoes in Sunset Park. They were also charged with the attempted murders of Ashworth Hanna, Anwar Lightbourne, Shane Reckley, Diego Arnett, and Dominic McKinney. Hanna was recently granted bail and, according to one neighbor, was trying to keep a low profile. The neighbor says when he heard the shots, he immediately thought of Hanna and ran outside to find his lifeless body sprawled across his lawn. Another neighbor says Hanna used to attend his summer camps and was like a son to him. His death brings the total number of killings for the year to 53. Reporting for Our News, I'm Jared Higgs.
The family of a 22-year-old mother killed in a traffic accident along Munnings Road earlier this month has retained the legal services of Monroe and Associates as it prepares to take legal action against the government. The young woman's parents say while no amount of money could ever bring their child back, more can be done to ensure no more lives are lost on Munnings Road. Kyle Joaquin tells us more.
This here is just one of 6 speed bumps placed along Munnings Road after the tragic death of young Garbanisha Carey. To date, her family said they've yet to hear from anyone in government, which is why they're seeking legal action. Patrice Carey gets a kiss from her young daughter atop this concrete barrier on Munnings Road. It's the spot where 22-year-old Garbanisha Carey lost her life just 2 weeks ago, moments after she dropped her mother off at the airport. Teddy bears scattered about the concrete block serve as a painful reminder of that fateful morning when Carey got the call that her eldest daughter died tragically after her car crash.
We have not heard from any member of our government, not even anyone that claims to be affiliated with the present government.
MPs or nobody.
As a family, we felt that your failure to act or express sympathy in any way was cold and heartless.
Garbanisha left behind one son who turned 3 just days before his mother's death. Today, he ran around freely as any child would, unaware of what was going on. During the press conferences, grandparents held back tears as they demanded the removal of the barrier and the resignation of the Minister of Works.
Any collaboration, all members that were part of this collaboration to have this structure, this ungodly structure placed here, that took the lives of one of our own without necessity. We seek to have it remove and have those persons to resign immediately.
You know, she got killed on the 14th, right? It was the 14th, honey? It was the 14th, and Father's Day was on the 17th. And we had so much stuff planned for that wonderful day. And she just got took away from us because of this.
The family has now retained the services of Monroe and Associates. Their attorney, Valencia Hunter, says they're now writing the government to outline the settlement they're seeking. And if there's no response, they will proceed with legal action.
We do intend to pursue any and all remedies against such person. I may add that Mr. Monroe is certainly of the considered opinion that the government and, in extent, the Ministry of Works is liable. He is of the opinion that the speed bumps and the reflectors that were just recently added is to be seen as an admission of the government's liability.
6 speed bumps and an additional reflector were placed along the barrier a day after Garbanisha's tragic death. However, the controversial closure had been the site of 3 accidents prior to that fatality. Works Minister Desmond Bannister has said the road was closed at the request of nearby residents who complained of burglaries and car crashes on their properties. We reached out for comment today, however, we were informed that Bannister is out of office. In the meantime, this family is preparing to say farewell to Garvanisha.
We expect that as time go on, full justice will be served.
For Our News, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis today agreeing to fund the opposition's travel across the country to denigrate the budget. While he says he had no issue with that, he would have to check with the Minister of Finance to see what funding is available.
I was for VAT and explaining why VAT was so significant for the many things that we want to do for them. You were against VAT, so you would have explained why you were against. But we will support you. Since you have no minister to accompany you, you have to go alone. But I have no problem. You may travel and do what you may.
Minnis was responding to opposition leader Philip Davis, who requested in Parliament that the opposition be facilitated for the trips. He pointed to the fact that the Prime Minister has embarked on an educational tour across the Bahamas to explain why the Minnis administration increased value-added tax. Davis says the opposition should also have the chance to do the same.
We have agreed, Mr. Speaker, we have agreed that I cannot travel with him, he cannot travel with me, because we have two different viewpoints. And I want to ensure that the same resources could be made available to me as leader of the opposition to travel the islands, to explain, just as he's doing.
The Prime Minister held several town meetings in Andros on Monday and is currently in Exuma holding another town meeting on the budget. Still to come on Our News, the National Security Minister explains the proposed anti-terrorism bill. Stay with us.